Your desire is not something that you need to chase. It is something that has actually already begun within you. And the moment you stop treating it as distant, this is actually when your desire can come to you. And this, what Neville Goddard explains in his chapter 15, The Crown of Mysteries. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to our The Power of Awareness book reading and lecture with Nervous System lens. As usual, if you want the entire chapter reading, here's the card on the screen. You can click there. I actually like this chapter very much because he explains everything in a rather artistic form of expression. And this chapter is packed with knowledge and with understanding how to approach manifestation subject. All right, so let's begin. The assumption of the visual field is the ship that carries you over the unknown seas to the fulfillment of your dream. The assumption is everything. Realization is subconscious and effortless. So you do not need really to know how everything happens, how everything unfolds so that you receive your dream. You do not need to map the path towards its attainment. The assumption that you have itself, it should carry you, you guys. It should never be done through effort, never. It should be through quiet, continuous knowing, quiet acceptance. Okay? So when you try to manifest something, when you're very close to it, when you convinced your subconscious mind, you're no longer trying to predict things or to figure things out, unless something comes to you and that has a clear path for you to act, right? But you do not build scenarios, what ifs, how it's gonna happen, through whom it's gonna happen, in what ways it's gonna happen. You do not do that. You do not entertain yourself with those thoughts. You will not ask yourself these questions anymore. You will rest in a sense, I'm already in it, and everything is already done. Okay, you do not rehearse the house, you rehearse the feeling of it is already yours. Assume a virtue if you have it not. William Shakespeare, the Hamlet. He included these. I like this in his books. These bits and pieces of beautiful artists and poets and authors overall. Again, assume a virtue if you have it not. Assume it. It doesn't say pretend. It's not acting as if externally, all right? It's rather allowing yourself to be internally aligned with it, because it is already existent within you, and that identity becomes natural over time. You're not trying to be confident, be chosen, be successful, be having those things that you desire. You just notice that your inner reactions begin to match that that identity that you're convincing yourself with. It's not effort, okay? There is not convincing anymore. It is just exuding, because it's no longer rehearsable. All right. Act on the assumption that you already possess that which you sought. Blessed is she that believeth, for there shall be a performance of those things which you're told her from the Lord. Beautiful. I mean, wow. Belief is not here about intensity, manufactured feeling, right? It is not a duty as well. I believe, I put a faith on it because all manifestation gurus and teachers tell me so. No, you feel it emanating from you. You do not do it as a duty. It's not homework, you guys. It is not resistance to something that you want being true, being already true. So there is no urgency to prove it, even to yourself, especially actually to yourself. You don't need to check things. You do not feel yourself sort of incomplete without it. There's a quiet sense that rests within you, that it is already in motion. There is trust in the divine powers, because you know, with this knowledge that Neville Goddard, Bob Proctor, Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, and Joseph Murphy, and lots of fantastic authors gave us. I mean, ignorance is a sin and ignorance is a choice, as Joe Dispenza says. We have this knowledge and we implement it in our life. So once we know something, we cannot unknown it. Okay, so please take this knowledge and apply it, not just listen to it, just really apply it. All right. As the Immaculate Conception is the foundation of the Christian mysteries, so the Assumption is their crown. Psychologically, the Immaculate Conception means the birth of an idea in your own consciousness, unaided by another. I love how he brings the story of Mary and Jesus here. It's beautiful because he wants to convey the idea that your desire doesn't come from outside, your real desire. This is how you actually check yourself. Is this a real your desire or just egotistic desire that's because my neighbor has it, or my friend has it, or my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, or it is a duty to want to have that, right? Just because everyone else got it or everyone else dreamt of the same thing. No, it's a borrowed dream, borrowed opinion. You allow those people dictate what to want and what to desire just because you gave them borrowed authority. Okay? Your desire should never come from outside, your real desire. It only appears within you. Because if you were able to feel the desire, it is already part of you, you guys. Really. It already belongs in your field of experience. So you will not question your real desire. You will not ask, is this realistic, right? You will feel it is mine to experience eventually. And that alone will shift your relationship to it. When you feel that it is yours and things are moving, the motion has begun. The Assumption is the crown of the mysteries because it is the highest use of consciousness. When in imagination you assume the feeling of the visual field, you're mentally lifted up to a higher level. When through your persistence, this assumption becomes actual fact, you automatically find yourself on a higher level. That is, you have achieved your desire in your objective external world. It is the highest level of use, you guys. So it's not about imagining occasionally, it's about, or consistently, it's about inhabiting consistently. Imagination is one thing, mind is one thing. How your body reacts is totally different. That's why I want to highlight nervous system regulation on this channel, because there is none whatsoever teacher that actually aligns body with the mind. I mean, there are maybe few, but not as a core thesis, right? So I want you guys to really assess how your body feels, because you can convince your mind, but if you anytime feel your desire coming to you and you feel contraction, you feel fear, you feel excitement, you feel overbearing, it means that you're not ready yet, and your body will always tell you where you are standing in regards to your desire. Okay, your mind might want it, but if body is not aligned with your desire yet, something will happen that it will screw that up. Okay, so you don't want that to happen. Also, very important, how to know if you're close to it, to your desire. Anytime you imagine that desire already knocking up your doors, coming to you, you're receiving it, you're welcoming it, whatever, do you rehearse your reaction or do you rehearse the next steps? Because if you rehearse your reaction, it means you're still not there. It doesn't feel normal. you feel excited, elevated in a certain way, right? But if you're already rehearsing the next steps of what you're gonna do, this is totally different subject. You're already thinking from it. You're not thinking of it. All right, and don't be very hard on yourself. If you notice and come back to the state over and over again, eventually it will stabilize within you. You will not hold it tightly. You revisit it as often as you may, and each time will feel familiar. Each time will feel even longer. It can stay longer with you, and it will anchor in the feeling, this is who I am right now already. Okay. Your assumption guides all your conscious and subconscious movement towards its suggested end so inevitably that it actually dictates the events. You do not have to manage the entire process, you guys, because once your state internally is accepted, everything recognizes from it, and you will notice that certain situations will appear in your life, certain people, conversations. It will not be dramatically done, it will be consistently, though it will be a next logical step, and life will feel like a cooperation rather than effort. It is not pushing life through you, it's rather moving with it. I'll give you even my example. Some years ago, I was having walks in the evenings, listening to like 1 hour, 2 hour audio of beautiful forest birds when I was dreaming to go to Thailand. And so I was listening to it for months, for 2, for 3, for several months. And one thing happened that I was able to travel. And I mean, although I was imagining everything was coming from my side, but since my current circumstances at that time were not permittable, I was not really able to leave apartment whenever I wanted, but it's a different story. So actually I manifested the trip and manifested someone else's capability for that trip, you know what I mean? And it's interesting. And then those birds, the sounds were I heard them in real life. So it's very interesting how everything is unfolding once you already anchor in the feeling of already being immersed in that feeling, in that state. Okay. The drama of life is a psychological one, and the whole of it is written and produced by your assumptions. Learn the art of assumption, for only in this way can you create your own happiness. Everything is shaped from within, you guys. Everything. And once you will really see that, you will stop trying to control every single move on the outside, because your assumptions are already doing their work. You just allow yourself to trust that God is watching over you, that the entire universe, that the world is cooperating with you. Because once you've given birth to your ideal, to your desire, if you stay anchored in that state, it is inevitable for you to receive it. Inevitable. So this is not about doing more, forcing more, convincing more, manufacturing more. It is about staying in quiet agreement with what you've already accepted as true within you. Okay? And the moment you assume, the process, the orchestration begins. And sometimes it begins without your participation. Okay? You just have to be in peace with that, without your conscious participation. And your only role becomes not stepping out of the state. Okay? So please do not force any belief. Do not need you do not need to make anything happen. Just accept, remain, bask, allow yourself feel natural in it. and then allow everything unfold on your behalf, because the assumption already contains the entire journey to it. And enjoy the journey, really. So for the exercise tonight, I want you guys bask in your feeling of the wish fulfilled and ask yourself the question, when I imagine it is already done, it is already coming to me, or I'm already receiving it, whatever your dream is, whatever your desire is, feel, do I rehearse the moment it is happening, or do I rehearse already next steps? And I'm not talking about 10, 15, 30 minutes of your reaction. This is the reaction. I'm talking about 1 month after that, 1 year, 5 years, forever, whatever, just whatever your mind takes you. This is actually what tells how close you are to receiving what you desire. So I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please, I would love to hear questions, even some discussions down in the comments, and put a like if you liked it. Subscribe also to this channel. I always post these lectures and Neville Goddard's audiobooks as well, and I will see you on the next one.